Half a century after its release, Bongo Fury remains one of the most unusual and revealing albums in Frank Zappa's vast catalog. Recorded partly live and partly in the studio, the 1975 collaboration with Captain Beefheart resists easy classification even by Zappa's own standards. Now, with a newly announced 50th anniversary edition, the album is being revisited not simply as a cult curiosity, but as a historical document that captures the final convergence of two singular creative forces. The expanded Bongo Fury 50th Anniversary Edition is scheduled for release on March 20th and will be available in multiple formats, including a Super Deluxe box set featuring 5 CDs and 1 Blu-ray. The collection includes 48 previously unreleased live and studio recordings from the period, newly mixed and remixed material, extended versions, and complete concert performances recorded in May 1975 at Austin's Armadillo World Headquarters. Alongside CD, vinyl, and digital editions, the release offers the most comprehensive look yet at the album and the brief moment in which it was created. Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart, born Don Van Vliet, first met as teenagers in Lancaster, California, during the late 1950s. Their friendship was forged early through shared interests in rhythm and blues, experimental art, and music that existed far outside mainstream expectations. Even at a young age, their personalities were sharply contrasted. Zappa was analytical, disciplined, and obsessed with structure and control. Van Vliet was intuitive, volatile, and guided by a personal logic that often seemed deliberately opaque. That tension became both the engine of their collaborations and the source of repeated conflict. Despite periods of estrangement and creative disagreement, the two continued to orbit one another over the years. Their partnership reached a defining moment in 1969 with Trout Mask Replica, Captain Beefheart's landmark album produced by Zappa, who also played a crucial role in shaping its sound and direction. That same year, Beefheart appeared on Zappa's Hot Rats, delivering a distinctive vocal performance on Willie the Pimp. These records cemented their intertwined legacies, even as their working relationship remained unstable. By 1975, when Bongo Fury was recorded, both artists were at transitional points in their careers. The studio sessions took place in January of that year, followed by a series of live performances in May. This split recording approach gave the album its peculiar identity. Unlike many Zappa projects that were meticulously assembled in the studio, Bongo Fury thrives on looseness and immediacy. The live material in particular emphasizes groove, repetition, and interaction rather than precision or complexity. The album would ultimately become the final collaboration between Zappa and Beefheart, as well as the last album released under the name The Mothers of Invention. In retrospect, it serves as a quiet endpoint to a relationship that had shaped both men's artistic paths for nearly 2 decades. There was no formal announcement of a split, no dramatic public rupture, just a sense that this chapter had reached its natural conclusion. Zappa's band at the time was one of the most formidable lineups he ever assembled. Drummer Terry Bozzio provided technical brilliance and power, while keyboardist George Duke brought a deep jazz sensibility and rhythmic flexibility. Napoleon Murphy Brock handled vocals and saxophone duties with authority, complemented by trombonist Bruce Fowler, bassist Tom Fowler, and guitarist Denny Wally. Together, they formed a group capable of navigating Zappa's complex arrangements while still leaving space for improvisation and spontaneity. That flexibility is especially evident in the live recordings included in the anniversary edition. Spread across multiple discs, the performances from May 20th and 21, 1975, feature not only Bongo Fury tracks, but also material drawn from across Zappa's catalog, including songs from Apostrophe and Hot Rats. The extended live versions reveal how fluid Zappa's music could become on stage, with songs stretching, mutating, and absorbing new textures night after night. At the heart of the new set is Bob Ludwig's 2012 remaster of the original album, presenting the 9-track release with renewed clarity. 5 additional studio recordings from the original sessions are included, offering alternate takes, extended versions, and isolated elements that shed light on how the album was constructed. These tracks underline how much material was generated during the Bongo Fury sessions, even if only a portion made it onto the original release. The remaining discs are filled out by newly mixed stereo versions of the live material, some of which appeared in edited form on the original LP. The full Austin concerts showcase the band in peak form, moving effortlessly between tightly arranged passages and moments of controlled chaos. Songs like Montana, Muffin Man, and Willie the Pimp take on new dimensions in this setting, driven by the push and pull between Zappa's compositional discipline and Beefheart's unfiltered presence. The Blu-ray included in the Super Deluxe edition adds another layer, featuring Dolby Atmos and 5.1 surround sound mixes of the album and select bonus tracks, alongside high-resolution stereo versions. Rather than modernizing the sound, these mixes emphasize depth and separation, allowing listeners to hear how the different elements coexist and collide within the music. Within Zappa's sprawling discography, Bongo Fury occupies a unique position. It lacks the orchestral ambition of his classical works and the narrative sprawl of his later conceptual albums, but it stands out as one of his most direct and human recordings. That quality is largely due to Captain Beefheart's role. His vocals are rough, unconventional, and often abrasive, but they bring an immediacy that contrasts sharply with Zappa's typically ironic distance. The tension between the two artists is never fully resolved on Bongo Fury, and that unresolved quality is precisely what gives the album its lasting power. It captures a moment when structure and instinct briefly coexisted without one overpowering the other. After this project, Zappa would move further toward tightly controlled compositions and advanced technology, while Beefheart would release a final album and eventually withdraw from music altogether to focus on painting. 50 years later, Bongo Fury feels less like an outlier and more like a closing statement. The anniversary edition does not attempt to elevate the album beyond what it is, but instead provides the context and material needed to understand why it matters. It stands as a time capsule of a fleeting alliance, documenting the last time Frank Zappa allowed genuine disorder into his work because Captain Beefheart was still in the room.